In the US, annual inflation up to February was 6%, but over the same period, airfares rose by over 26%. Airfares in the Asia Pacific and the Middle East also surged over the past year. They went up 53%. That's well above the global average. The largest increase was in markets like China that had the most stringent travel restrictions. On top of the impact of this pent-up demand, rising jet fuel prices could send airfares even higher. So are high prices here to stay, and is there anything you can do about it? Don Tan put this question to Peter Kern, who's CEO of travel platform Expedia Group.
What we've seen is generally a lot of inflation across the world in every category, in every industry, and travel, if anything, was probably even more so. But I think, prices are probably sustainably higher for a while, except in small pieces of category. You might see a little bit of drop off, and we have seen a leveling off. So it was growing incredibly fast for a couple of years. It's now pretty much leveled off, so I think that's good news. But is it going to go down? I don't think it's going to go down anytime soon. So travelers will have to be savvy, figure out the best way to optimize what they're trying to do.
Peter, you became CEO at Expedia at a time when no one would have wanted to make predictions about what was going to happen with travel. How would it rebound? Since the pandemic, what have been the main motivators for travel?
Some of us in the travel industry debated, would the trends change? Everyone discovered more nature during COVID. They started staying in vacation rentals somewhat more. They didn't go to big cities, et cetera. And actually, I always believed that it would all come back. And what we're seeing now is really that it's happening. International travel's back. All the biggest cities are booming. Japan is now the #1 searched place in the world in terms of international travel. Happens to be cherry blossom season, and it's the first year it's been open since COVID.
Since the pandemic, people are still prioritizing travel. And the number of searches for Japan that you mentioned, they've just continue to increase. We've seen a lot of demand in that sector. Do you think that perhaps other jurisdictions might benefit from all of those searches, maybe more off the beaten track areas?
First of all, we've seen a lot of inflation in travel over the last few years. Airline tickets, hotel rooms, vacation rentals, you name it, everything has inflated. But we've seen huge demand and a lot of pent-up savings during COVID. So a lot of people saved money, they weren't going out as much, they weren't buying as many things, and then when they could, they wanted to travel again. So I think that's been an okay match over time. I was just in Tokyo, and prices for hotels are very high in Tokyo, and the hotels are packed. So I think you're going to see both. I think you're going to see plenty of demand to keep sustaining prices where they are, which may not be as good for the consumer, but they are what they are.
What about the best time to book, Peter? Because everyone's got a story about the days of the week, Monday through Sunday. Which is the best time for me to book?
Yeah, well, in general, booking early is best, although it's not absolute. There will be some last-minute deals from time to time. And if you're looking right now, and this could change, these things change all the time, but booking on a Sunday is usually better. Leaving on a Thursday is usually better. Fridays are quite expensive, things that encompass the weekend.
So let's talk about choices, Peter, because Expedia has got its travel trends for 2023, and there's one number that sticks out to me. The 68% of travelers from Asia that they are likely to actually spend on a 4 to 5 star hotel. That's compared to a considerably lower 53% globally. What is Expedia doing to leverage on this?
Our goal is to provide, the best set of choices, whatever your price point is, whether you're staying at 5-star hotels or 2-star hotels, and to give you the best information we can provide so that your expectations meet your experience. And, that can be challenging, but we've been very focused on technology. We have new smart shopping capabilities that allow you to compare things more easily. And I think we're not trying to leverage the high end or the low end or the middle per se. We're just trying to give the best experience, show people, give people the best value. I mean, even if you're staying at a 5-star hotel, you don't want to overpay for what you're getting.
Let's talk about numbers, Peter, because growth is important, revenue is important. Expedia missed Q4 estimates. That was largely because of the inclement weather that you experienced in Northern America. Dangerous weather, but we do expect those trends to continue with climate change. Does the impact of climate change on Expedia's business keep you up at night?
I think the travel industry actually is working really hard to figure out ways to do better. I think we, as a bit of an intermediary, our job is to, again, to provide good, transparent information. So if sustainability is important to you, we want you to know if that hotel has a really good history of sustainable practices or not, or is better than another, if an airline is better than another. The biggest issue has been the quality of information. You know, there is no great source of information, and so getting to a consensus in the industry about the source of truth, what information there is, that's what we're really pushing towards. And then, you know, it's for the consumer, ultimately all the consumers of the world, to try to drive towards a better outcome here.